For this week's Raw preview, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Logan Paul. How good is he really? Personally, I think he's quite good, to be honest. Logan Paul is due to have his debut match on Monday Night Raw tonight. I did double check this. He'd only had 2 matches on TV, both on SmackDown. So this is apparently his Monday Night Raw debut. And a person with the quality of Rey Mysterio, and obviously they've had previous history. I think it's an ideal person to have his debut on Raw and on Netflix, and it kind of gives the profile of, obviously there's a slightly more wider audience on Netflix. I say slightly, it can be literally anyone's TV, in anyone's home. It's quite easy to get. So I think having Logan Paul on Raw for the Netflix side of things is a good idea. The thing I have with Logan Paul is that there's this backlog that he isn't actually that good, and that he isn't a wrestler and all this malarkey and stuff. It's completely false, let's be honest. I get he has the Roman schedule, and he's in every now and again and comes away and then goes back again. He's had that for the recent times. He has recently been on more Raws than Roman, to be fair. You could say Roman's earned his spot. But Logan, for me, shows a level of ability and quality in what he does far beyond what he should for any sort of, any athlete really. Any athlete that has any sort of athletic ability that has come into WWE through the Performance Center, through the NIL system, through however they've come through. I don't think there has been a wrestler. I know that Logan Paul has the stature of being Logan Paul, and he already has the following, so there's no reason for him to be in NXT and all that. But he's showing a level of personal growth and quality as a wrestler that far exceeds quite a few people in the NIL system and within NXT. So obviously he's on Raw and SmackDown for the basis that he is who he is, but he's backing himself with the quality of his promos and his out of ring work, in a sense, and he's also backing those words with his in ring work because it is quality. Now, my only thought with Logan Paul in terms of where he needs to improve is the finish side of things. He needs a finisher. The brass knuckles kind of right hand hook thing doesn't really work for me. I think he needs something else. Maybe the frog splash is his go-to because of his past with Rey and Dom. Maybe he goes for something else. I feel like that's the point at which he needs some development. He needs something to be his finish. And with that, I would protect it. Because another thing that I found in wrestling as a whole is that finishers are less protected than they used to be. The only recent one I can think of that's been massively protected was Baron Corbin's End of Days, because it was only kicked out by one person, that was Drew, I think. So he needs something for that side of things. But other than that, Logan Paul has legitimate right to be where he is on Monday Night Raw. Now, he's obviously going to, let's be honest, he's probably going to go into the Elimination Chamber. So he's putting himself into the big matches. He's had the 2 Royal Rumble appearances now, in which he's had the viral moment with Ricochet in the first one. I don't remember if he eliminated anyone too big in the first one. It might have been Seth, I think. He might have eliminated. Or was that at the Elimination Chamber? That might have been Orton at the Elimination Chamber. So he's been in an Elimination Chamber already. He's obviously dumped CM Punk out of the Rumble. So there's a bit of a thing there. I think that Logan's there for his name. for this as a starting point, he was there for his name, but he's now backing his ability, and it's now getting to a point where the name matches the ability, and that's where you go, where do we put him now? Because I feel as though the US title run was warranted, to be honest. He then lost it to LA Knight at SummerSlam, but he's not world title levels, I don't think, unless you give him more Money in the Bank or something like that, possibly. But I wouldn't have him win Money in the Bank. I'd have someone else, which we will get to in time. But I think that he deserves kind of the mid-card title of sort of at least, or kind of that, not the main event stature, but the upper card stature that he's seemingly gained. So not that I'm fully on board with Logan Paul and who he is and everything like that, but I think he's now backing what he does and what he says, which earns a level of respect, which is all you can do really in this game, I guess. But what do you guys think? Is Logan Paul now at a point where he's now backing what he says, his name still carrying his stature, or is he now kind of caught up to that ability both in and out of the ring? Let me know, guys, what you think in the comments. Like this video if you haven't, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, guys, take care.